Clippers Nuggets Game 7 was such a letdown and embarrassment for LA that this will probably signal the end of an era inside the Intuit Dome. And as a fan, it's so disappointing because it's such a missed opportunity with such great teams on both sides when a game like this just decides to be over by the third quarter. I know that I'm not the only one who thought tonight might have been an extremely epic game, like I was preparing for maybe one of the most epic games we've had the last decade.
The lie detector determined that was a lie.
If you're a Clippers fan, this really sucks because basically what you're being told is that this team isn't good enough to progress to get a championship, and it's probably time for y'all to move on. You've been bounced out of the first round for the last 3 seasons, and while yeah, injuries were a part of it for the first 2, this year you had everything there, everything was lined up, and you couldn't get it done. And with Kawhi and Harden getting a year older next year, I can't imagine it's going to get any better from here on out, and your best option might be to trade them for future assets before it's too late. I feel like there's got to be a few teams out there that are close to getting over the hump that would love to have James Harden or Kawhi Leonard added to their roster. Teams that are relatively young but need that one veteran that could help get them there but doesn't have to exactly carry the whole load the whole season. Kawhi Leonard back to the Spurs, James Harden back to the Rockets? No. And the reality is the Clippers have to break it up. Kawhi, he's not getting any younger. He's not going to stop getting injured. In fact, like this is the first time he hasn't been injured in the last 3 years, and it's probably going to happen for the next 2. And it's the same situation for James Harden. He's not getting any younger. It was actually really surprising these past 2 seasons how well he's played. And yeah, he might be able to still do this again next season, but we've now seen it too many times. This guy's not going to get you to the finals throughout the playoffs because he can't perform like he normally can. I mean, you could obviously run it back, but I can't help but feel that would be just rolling the dice in a situation where you're probably going to lose. And speaking of James Harden, my man had 7 points off of 2 of 8 shooting, and that honestly is just really... that's the cherry on top for James Harden's career when it comes to Game 7s. That man just either cannot perform in those games or his play style is just not valuable in a Game 7. Just like we talked about with Austin Reeves, he's the type of player that needs to get to the free throw line to get, to get going, to get in rhythm. James Harden's just an elite version of Austin Reeves. He needs to see the ball go through the net at the free throw line, and if that's not happening, everything else falls apart. And yeah, he had 13 assists, but like, you took only 8 shots. 8 shots. Well, seriously, drink your water. Powell and Derrick Jones Jr. took more shots than you. That can't happen in a Game 7. James Harden kind of gives me that vibe. He's the type of person who does not want to give 100% when he knows he has to, because if he fails, everyone will know he failed at 100%. We all, that person, like when you play them in video games, the moment the game gets close, they kind of just give up, and it's like, what are you doing? And it's like because they don't want to lose while they care. I feel like James Harden's that player. He plays really well until he has to care, and then he's like, well, I don't really care, so if I lose, whatever. And it's like, dude, just care. Hit that subscription button and turn on notifications. And this kind of sucks, right? Because the Clippers, while not everyone loves them, they're a really good team. The league is better when they're better. The league is better when Kawhi's healthy, when James Harden's playing well. And to see this series end in that fashion, to see James Harden fizzle out again, and again, I don't want to say hurt his legacy because he is what he is at this point. It's just really disappointing from a perspective where we had so much opportunity these playoffs, right? Like we were thinking we might be getting one of the best first rounds ever, and while it was all right, it really wasn't anything that special. We didn't really have the Lakers getting gentlemen swept by the Wolves on our bingo cards, so we didn't get a chance to really enjoy that series. So I think the Lakers really underperforming really hurt the value of these playoffs. But I really do want to take a second just to recognize how awesome Kawhi Leonard is, not just because he played so well tonight and you could just tell was the only really person on the Clippers who was just putting it all out there. Kawhi Leonard's game is just so fun to watch. I mean, he really does remind us of an MJ, a Kobe, the way he runs the mid game, the way he gets down and back on defense. I mean, he really is, he's the epitome of what we love to watch in basketball. And we were just talking about in a previous video how the NBA, when the face of the league has that type of shooting guard prototype, MJ Kobe style, the league just seems to be so much more interesting. It really was such a treat for us NBA fans to see Kawhi Leonard playing like this. I mean, again, we haven't seen this in years, and for him to come out in meaningful basketball games and give us this was awesome. It's pretty incredible considering how much Kawhi has accomplished already in his career, with how much he's been injured and just how much of a what if he is, and to think about what he could have accomplished if he stayed healthy. If this guy stayed healthy, there's a very strong possibility he could have been considered one of the greatest players of all time. I mean, think about it. If he would have won a championship this year, how high would have that catapulted him up the all-time rankings list? And to be fair, his career isn't over. He could still have something left in the tank to make another run next year with another team, or even this team right here. But I won't be holding my breath. All right, that's enough yapping for today. Go out there and do something great. You can pick one of these videos if you want. You should.